everyone, and welcome back to another week in the life of an eBay reseller. My name is Tom, this is Tom's Toys 95. Welcome to the channel if you are new. I sell things online on eBay. Most of it is second hand from charity shops, car boots, things like that, and I buy them cheap and try to resell them online to make a profit. So a bit of a change of scenery this week. I am currently in my new office for my job. The good thing with this is it's right in the town centre of where I live, so there's going to be charity shops, there's a CeX there, there's a game store, TK Maxx, lots of second-hand shops that I enjoy as well, that I like to go into and see what they've got cheap. So in terms of the future of the channel, the future of these week in a life videos, there's going to be a lot more content coming because I'm going to have access to more shops. I'll be going to things at a quicker rate, whereas before it might have only been one visit a week to one shop, whereas now I'll be able to do 3, 4, 5, 6 shops in one lunch break. The post office is just round the corner, which is really convenient for me as well. So on my lunch I don't need to drive to the post office, I can literally just walk into town. So yeah, I'm really excited for this new move and see where the channel goes from here. And on that note, I'm going to utilise my lunch hour. I'm going to go to town. I haven't got any parcels to post today. I'm going to go through what's sold later on in the video. So when I get home, I'll go through what's sold over the weekend. It's Monday now, so I'm going to get those wrapped tonight, and then I'll post tomorrow morning. Or on my lunch break tomorrow. So I haven't got anything to post now, so I've got a free hour. I'm going to go around, have a look what's in the store, see what I can find, and hopefully I'll find some things to make a profit on. Otherwise, I'll see you back later tonight when I go through everything that's sold. Right then guys, so I just got back from work. I'm back in the kitchen, back home, so I'm just going to go through the sales now. I did pick up a couple of things from my lunch break, but it didn't go quite as planned. I met my boss and his son in town, and we went for a coffee instead, so I didn't get a chance to look around much. I did pop into CeX though, of course, and I did pick up a few things, so I'll go through those afterwards. But let's get into the sales first. So the first thing we sold was this Rainbow Six Siege on the Xbox One. I picked this up in the video probably about a week or two ago. This was £2.50 from CeX, and this sold for £5.99 plus postage. Not really too much else to say on that one. Condition's quite nice, but it's usually worth about £5 or £6 anyway. But for some reason they were selling it for £2.50, so they'd reduced the price. So I thought still a little bit of profit in it. So it's not much profit, but I always say with video games, even if I only make £1 or £2, they're so quick and easy to list that it doesn't bother me too much if I only make a small amount on it. But yeah, £5.99, happy with that. The next one is this Persona 4 Royal. Now this is the disc only, so I had 2 steelbooks of this. I've sold both the steelbooks separately and now both the discs. So the first disc sold last week and the second disc has just sold. So this has gone for £13.99 plus postage. The next sale is Portal 2 on the Xbox 360. This sold for £7.95 all in. I'm sure I probably could have got more trading in on a voucher at CeX. This has been on my store for a while. I think at one point I was tempted to just take it down and trade it in. It's one of those games that fluctuates up and down. One week it'll be £10 or £12, the next week it'll be £6 or £8. I think it just depends how much stock CeX get of it. On PlayStation I think it's worth a little bit more. On Xbox £8, probably about a fair price for it. Obviously after fees and postage that'll only leave me with about £4, but it is what it is. And then the next sale are these they are Cadbury's mugs. Now I've already pre-wrapped them. I'll put a bit more bubble wrap on them, but this is mini eggs. These are sort of vintage. I think they're vintage anyway. I think they're like retro inspired mugs. They probably came with an Easter egg or something at some point. And then this one is the Cadbury caramel. It's got the bunny on there as well. In fact I might as well just take it out of the wrapper and show you. So there's that one. The other one's already taped up, so I'm going to leave that one. But yeah, those have been lingering for ages. I think I spent about 50p each on them quite a while ago. And I think I got 5 for £2.50 from a charity shop or a car boot, and I picked out all of the best mugs. Now some of them were genuine vintage mugs and they sold for about £8 to £10 each. These ones are a bit of a fail, so these went for £3 plus postage. They've been lingering for so long, and I think the other day someone sent me an offer and I just accepted it because I'm sick of them. I've had them about 3 years now, so happy to see them go. And then Up next we got 2 packs of these again. So I've spoke about these before. These cost me £1 per bundle. Each bundle has 50 packets, and I picked up 45 of them from a car boot. The bloke gave me his number. I went and picked up the rest as he only had 5 left at the car boot. So I picked up around 40 more from him for £40. So we got 45 bundles of these, sold quite a lot already. There's probably about 15 to 20 left. And these sold for, I think it was $14.99 each, so I got $29.98 for the pair. The same buyer bought both, so I'm happy with that. Now I did add free postage on these because I was charging $11.50 plus $3.50 postage, and someone bought, I think, 7 bundles of them, and because they bought 7 bundles, eBay added all the postage together, so I lost out on about £20 of postage. Which I guess is fair, but at the same time, if I'd have put it free postage, I would have got the full asking price. So on this specific item, I put it free postage, so I haven't lost out this time. And they can't demand extra, they can't demand a return or a refund really, because I've put the postage as free, so they can't really complain that I've overcharged them. So I'm happy with that. And then the very last item that I sold, I think there's 7 things that sold today, so this is the last one, is this copy of FIFA 16 on the Xbox. It's not the same one that I bought last week or in the last few episodes, but it is pretty much the same item. I've had many of these in the past. Now they are only 50p to buy from CeX, which is why I picked them up, but they also don't sell for much either, so this sold for £3.49 plus postage. But again, that's still about £1.50, £2 profit, and it's so quick and easy to list, and the fact that I already owned a copy of this, or it's already for sale, I could just duplicate the listing, quickly take some new pictures, and it's out the door, so it's no stress for me really. Oh, actually, sorry about that, I did miss off one thing. The other thing then that sold are these Star Wars figures. So these are micro mashers. These are like superhero micro mashers, and this is a Star Wars version. So there's about 5 or 6 characters. I won't get them all out, but one of them is missing a head. So there are, they are incomplete. There's a few accessories as well. So all of those, I think I had them listed at one point for around £10 or £12, reduced them to £8. Someone sent me an offer for 6, so they went for £9.50 with the postage. I accepted it just because they've been lingering a while. I'm happy to get rid of them and get some stock on. So that's all of the sales. Now let's get into what I picked up from CeX. So then we've got some really good CeX pickups, or at least in my eyes anyway. So up first, I paid £5 for this. Now this is Infamous Second Son. This was part of the special edition, which is a bigger box with a beanie hat, some pin badges and other things as well. I think there's a CD soundtrack or something. So this was £5, which was the normal price of the standard game. The special edition contents does not come with this, otherwise I'd be paying a lot more for it. But this is just the slipcover that came in the special edition. So I could probably ask around £20 for this. I think there's one listed on eBay for 20, that's the cheapest. Whether I'll get 20, I don't know. Someone's selling the full set for 60, which I did have at one point. That sold last year for around £55, I think it was. So this is a nice variant copy. I can get at least £12 to £15 for this though, so I will be listing that for around 20, and I can always reduce it if I need to. Next one might be a bit of a fail. It was a bit awkward saying no at the counter, so I picked it up anyway. There's this Persona 4 Arena PlayStation 3 game. Now I've collected this myself for my personal collection, and I think I paid about £15 to £18, and this was a couple of years ago when it was expensive, and it comes with an original CD soundtrack as well. Now this specific copy was £10, which is quite good. This is the cheapest I've seen it for a long time. I have noticed that PS3 games have come down quite a lot recently. Whether they'll go back up I don't know, but let's hope they do, because I am collecting a full set. But yeah, so this one should have come with the CD soundtrack, and when I got to the till I asked if it had it, and she said it doesn't. So she'd already put the disc in and scanned it and everything, so I just said, you know what, I'll take it. If it had the CD soundtrack, I'd be asking around £20 for it. I think I'm going to try £17.99, and I might reduce it to £15, but hopefully I could probably go to about £15. If I go any lower than that, then I'll probably lose money after fees. So hopefully I can get about between 15 and 18 for it, but I wish it did have the CD soundtrack there. The next one is for my own personal collection. If I was to sell it, this is worth about £14 to £15 on eBay. This is a nice complete copy with a manual, but this only cost me £8. and this is going straight in my collection, so I don't actually have this one. And this is Tales of Zestiria, I think it is. I don't really play RPG and anime games, but they are quite expensive and they are rare on the PS3, so it was good to pick that one up. And £8 is actually a really good price for that, so I was happy to see that in CeX. Now the last item, I have got some footage which I will put over on the screen. I did record it in portrait mode though by accident, but I picked up this copy of Modern Warfare 3 on the Xbox 360. Now this is the last steelbook I need, unless there's a newer one for the Modern Warfare 3, but I believe I have every Call of Duty UK steelbook, or at least I have most of them. Unless there's any variants, I have all of the sort of base set of the sort of Call of Duty steelbooks. But this one is the last one I need. Unfortunately, it's on Xbox 360, so I may sell it. I may add it to the collection until I get a replacement, but I think I might sell this one. However, this was £3 and it was absolutely battered. It's all rusty, and the cover was falling apart, and it had been put on back to front, so the cover was upside down. Everything was a mess, but I still took a gamble on £3. I did have a look online, and it sells for around £15 if it's in good condition. So I managed to unclip the case, turn it round, clip it back together, and it's now a functional steelbook again. It was literally hanging by a thread. It's now a functional steelbook again. Unfortunately, it is rusty. But if I was to sell this, I haven't decided yet, but if I do sell it, I can ask around £8 to £10 for it, so there's still a little bit of profit in it now that it's been fixed. And the reason I bought it was because I thought I could fix it, which I did, which I'm pleased with, but there is just a bit of rust on there as well, so I need to take that into consideration when I sell it. And then the last two things I picked up this was a bit of an impulse buy behind the counter, but I saw these and they were £15 each, and I thought they might be worth a little bit more, and when I put them in on eBay, one came up as £25 and the other one wasn't on eBay, so I can ask a little bit more for that one because I can essentially set the benchmark and set the price. But they're both the same movie, but it's Gremlins. I don't know if they are UK copies or not, simply because both of the discs are exactly the same, but they do have Spanish writing on the disc, so I don't know if they're UK copy or if they're all in Spanish. I don't know. It may not play in Spanish, so I might chuck it in my PS5 and see if it works. But yeah, so this one I think is a Zavvi exclusive, and I believe this one is if I'm doing a bit of digging, it should come with a slipcover, and I think it's the 25th anniversary version. So both of these should get at least £25. I don't know whether to list them together or separate, but I'll probably list them separately. So this one's going to go for around £25 to £30, and I think this one I'm going to list for around £35 to £40. I may try it a little bit higher, just simply because it's the only one on eBay. There is some sticky residue all over it though, and I do have some sticky stuff remover, so it's just a little tube you can buy, or a little bottle, sorry, from eBay. It's probably about £4 or £5, and you literally just dab it on some cotton wool or some kitchen tissue or something, and just wipe it over, give it a couple of minutes and wipe it off, and that will come off. It's really good for sealed games and getting stickers off. You just put a little bit on it, give it some time, and then you just peel it off. So that should clean up quite nicely. The only problem is there are some scratches on it, so in terms of asking for a premium on that, I won't be able to, just because of the condition. But it's still a nice copy, and for £30 for the two, I think I can get at least 50 to 60 after fees. Now that is all of the pickups from CeX. I spent a total of £56, so just a bit of a quick calculation. So just a quick calculation then, I should be able to get, I had to add up then, I should get around £84, maybe £80 conservatively after fees. Even if it's not including fees, that's still 60 to 65, and that doesn't include this copy of the game, which I'm keeping for my own collection. So there's still good profit in this, and I get to keep the game that I want for free, so I'm happy with that. So that wraps up Monday. I've got all my orders, I'm going to go wrap those now, and I've got the pickups. Tomorrow I'm going to go and post them. I usually then will have a day off because I've posted, and I post every 2 days. So I have a nice evening off on Tuesday, and then Wednesday I'll be back to it, and anything that sells I'll update you. Right then, it's now Wednesday evening. I'm just chilling watching the football, but I've got some listings to get on with. I picked up a lot of stuff over the last couple of days. So Tuesday I had my day off, but I did pick a few things up on my lunch break. I've got 3 things to wrap tonight, so I'm going to go through what orders they were in a moment. and I went to HMV on Tuesday. They had some cool horror figures on sale, which I will show you. And I also went to a charity shop today where I got some really awesome finds. Got a few bits of clothing. I got a nice tea set, which I don't usually buy. They do tend to linger and hang around, but I think this one's quite a good one for the price I paid. And I actually got quite a lot of magazines and guitar books. So there was a David Bowie guitar magazine that was 10p, so I picked that up. And I didn't know it was 10p at the time, so I asked how much the magazines were. I said if they're cheap enough, I'll buy the whole lot. If they're 50p a pound, whatever, I'll just get the one. So the Bowie magazine I'm going to list for around about £8 to £10, but the stack of books were 10p each. So I said, I tell you what, I'll take the rest. And then just as I was about to pay, some lady comes out with probably about 8 to 10 guitar books, magazines, guitar tabs, riffs, things like that, all to do with guitars and music. So she was like, do you want these? These have been hanging around, they're at the back. And I felt a bit awkward saying no, so I was like, fine, I'll take them. Worst case scenario, if they're not worth anything, I'll just take them back to a different charity shop. But I actually looked at one or two of them and I was quite surprised in some of the value, looking at about £7 to £8 per book. So I'll go through those as well in the next segment. Right, let's go through the HMV pickups first. So I picked these up on Tuesday. The first one is this Stephen Rhodes t-shirt. Now I really like this t-shirt. I was tempted to keep this myself. This was on sale for $3.99 instead of $20. Now it does say on it, talk to ghosts, activities for children. Now when I looked this up, this guy does vintage style artwork, but with a bit of a twist. Skeleton and the children and the Ouija board and everything. But yeah, it's a pretty cool shirt. I'll probably be listing that for, I think the cheapest at the moment is $17.99. So they've got, I think it's a retail shop selling that because they've got multiple in stock. So I'll probably undercut them a bit and list it for around $16.99. Hopefully that'll sell, and that'll be about £10 profit after fees. The next one is, I wasn't going to pick this up, but while I was there picking that one up and getting the other things I'm going to show you in a moment, this was in there. Now, I did avoid this the other day, but sometimes you go back with a fresh pair of eyes and you make a different decision. So I picked this up last week. They were $3.99 each. I got a medium and a extra large. This is a small, and I think because it was a small size, I was hesitant to pick it up because it takes longer to sell. But it was $3.99. The other ones I listed for £20 each because there was the cheapest on eBay was £25. So I figured even in a small, if I listed it for 10 or 15, it's still profit. So for £4, I'm not going to argue with that one. So yeah, I'll probably list that for around about 15 and keep the others up for 20. Now, following on from the HMV pickups, we've got two NECA figures, which those of you that know what they are, you know these are very collectible and very expensive. Now, I did have a video on this where I picked up a bunch. I've spoken about it before on my channel, but I picked up a bunch of these in about November, December time. So I've still got about 6 left on my eBay. Some of them are still worth quite a lot of money. So I'm nearly in profit on that bundle, and I've got about 5 or 6 left. So once I sell 1 or 2 more, I'll be into profit. This one was on sale for $14.99 instead of $19.99. But when I looked on eBay, it was going for around about £35. So I'm really happy to have that one. They did have a few more, but they weren't on sale. But they were only 20 quid, so I'm tempted to maybe go back and get a couple more different characters. But for the time being, just got this one. They did have multiple. I'll see how this one looks when I list it. If it sells and they've got more left, I might go and get some more. But otherwise, I'll just stick with the one for now because I don't want to be spending too much money. And then the last one, this one's awesome. So this one has, this is a different style. So the other one is tiny. Toony Terrors, sorry, so that's more of a cartoon style. This is more of a realistic figure. So we've got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I believe this is Leatherface, sorry. Really, really detailed. You've got his chainsaw in there and his hammer. And then on the back, now this was the last one they had in stock, and it was $39.99 and it was 25% off. So I'm really happy to sort of add this one to the collection, but at the same time, this will be going on eBay. This specific figure isn't on eBay at the moment, or at least I couldn't find it. They had other Chainsaw Massacre figures, but not this one. So I may be able to ask a bit of a premium on this one. The bloke that sold it to me said that he collects these figures, and he was asking if I collect them as well. So he was really interested in it, and said he's surprised it's not sold already. It's the last one and it's sold out everywhere online. So that gives me some indication that it does have some good value. So I'd be hoping to clear at least 50 to 60 pound, but I'm hoping to aim for around 70 to 80 on that one, and then I can double money. The last thing I wanted to show you was this Hornby Train set. Now, I have a guy on Facebook that I messaged probably about 2 years ago now who was selling a train, and I looked it up and he was selling it for £40 and it was selling for around 70. So I gambled on it, picked it up, sold it, and it sold within about 3 days. So I messaged the bloke and said, if you ever get any more trains, please let me know. So we've kept in touch. He's a nice fella, and every time he gets some trains that he no longer wants from his collection, or he buys some more and he has no room for them, then he will message me. And there's not been any apart from one, I believe, where I didn't pick it up, but everything else he's given me a really good price. We've become somewhat friends, so I told him, you know, don't give me too good a deal just because it's me. I said price it fairly, but he's always happy with what he receives for the item, so I don't rip him off, and I always end up usually doubling my money. So on this occasion I paid £30 for this one, and the only one on eBay is £125. Now the thing with this one is I knew it, like he told me before I bought it, but it is damaged and it doesn't work. So these actually run on a track, and they're like electric and they'll move on their own. This one doesn't work. He said that there's a connection somewhere in here that's broken, but I can sell these, and I have sold these before as spares and repairs, so I have no problems with listing that as spares and repairs. I think if a working one's going for around about 120, maybe conservatively £100, I think I can get at least 50 to 60 and double my money. Right then, let's get into what sold. So I think Tuesday we sold this Persona 4 Arena. Now I've obviously only just picked this up, you've just seen 5 minutes ago. This sold already. I was quite surprised. The cheapest one was £17.99 on eBay. I think I matched it, and one with the CD was going for a similar price. Obviously this one is missing the bonus CD, but yeah, listed that for £15.70 plus £2.30 postage to make it £18, I believe, and that sold straight away, so I'm happy with that. The next two items are both bags of Lego. So I had a lot of these Lego mini bags that I collected when I was younger, and I decided to sell them all. Listed them all probably about September time, and I started flying out. And some of them I had multiples of, and I forgot to list multiples on eBay. So I was looking through the box the other day, and there's not too many left. I cross-checked them with my eBay store, and there was a few on there that were not listed. So I pulled them out over the weekend and listed these on Sunday, and these sold. So the first one is 8080. Now I believe this was only £4.40 this sold for, plus postage, but still £4.40 that I didn't have before. So yeah, that one sold. That's cool, like a nice little figure there, but I think some of them are quite common, so that you don't get much for them. But that one sold for £4.40. This one did a little bit better. This is the Millennium Falcon. This is the mini version. I believe there's a massive like 600 quid version of this, which is ridiculous, but this is the little mini one. This sold for £5.95 plus postage. So I'm happy with both of these. Two easy sales, straight in a little envelope, out the door really quickly, so I can't argue with that. So the same with this CD game as well. Yes, I paid £10 for it, and only made about £3 profit, but still £3 that I didn't have before. It took me no more than like 3 minutes to list it. It sold overnight. It's going to take me no more than 3 to 5 minutes to wrap. So for 10 minutes work for £3, it's, you know, it's still £3 quid, isn't it? So happy with those sales. Let's get into what I picked up then. Following on from the magazines, we also picked up a few more things from the charity shop. Was the Salvation Army. So next up, £3 was this Wolf shirt. Now again, it's a size small. I would have liked it in a medium or large, possibly an XL as well, but bigger sizes and smaller sizes tend to take longer to sell, so medium, large, extra large is the sort of good size that everyone wants. £3 on this might have overpaid slightly. It's official Wolves merch. Wolves are sort of a fairly local team to me near Birmingham, so obviously in Wolverhampton, so around this area anyway, they're quite popular. I reckon something like this in good condition could probably go for around £10. Obviously it's not a football shirt, it's just football memorabilia, merchandise, so it's just a plain normal t-shirt with a little Wolves badge on it. But I figured, you know, big Premier League team, good history. Someone's going to want this, so hopefully I can get more than £3 for it. I'm going to aim for around £10 to £12. I doubt there'll be any others on eBay. So let's see how I get on with that one. Obviously I'd have preferred if it was a football shirt, but even a casual t-shirt, that's still nice for £3. Plus I enjoy selling football stuff, so I'm quite passionate about that, so I'm happy to pick that one up. Now the next one, I took a bit of a gamble. It wasn't much of a gamble because I think most people would have picked these up if they saw them. But this is a brand I've not heard of before, but it's called Raging Bull. And on the tag, I think it said it was endorsed or created by a rugby legend. Let's have a look. So founded by rugby legend Phil Vickery MBE, so I don't know who that is. I'll Google him and pop a picture up here probably. But yeah, so some of you might know who he is. I don't play or watch rugby, so I don't know. But these are a pair of chino shorts, size 36, which is my size, so I might try these on and maybe keep them. But what caught my eye was the brand new with tags, and it was £50. I don't know how well that's going to focus, but that was £50, brand new with tags. They had it up for £3.50. I don't know how much they're worth. I didn't really look them up. I just saw the £50 price tag and thought that's got to be worth something. So even second-hand, well, not second-hand, but even on the sort of second-hand market, with the tags, I reckon I could get about £20 for those. Hopefully a bit more. I won't get anywhere near the £50, but hopefully at least 20 quid, so that's a good £15 profit. So that wraps that up. We've got 3 sales and quite a lot of things that I purchased which I've gone over. I'm going to get those things that I purchased hopefully listed now, at least drafted up tonight. I might photograph and list them fully tomorrow, but hopefully by the time the video's out they'll all be listed anyway. If anyone does fancy any of the items that I picked up today or in previous videos, my eBay store is TomsToys95, same as my YouTube name. I always link it in the description anyway. Any purchases are appreciated. Please leave a comment or a note when you purchase the item, just so I know it's come from a subscriber, and I'll give you a shout out in the next video. Otherwise, that concludes everything for Wednesday. I'm going to get these wrapped and posted and take them to the post office tomorrow. I need to be careful of how much I spend, so although I've just, as I said in the start of the video, I've moved offices and I'm next to town now, so it's really tempting to go to the charity shops, go to CEX and other shops and buy more stuff. I was tempted to go back to HMV and grab a few more of those figures, so we'll see what happens, but I don't want to be spending too much money, so that might be it for pickups, and depending on how sales go, that may be it for sales, but it is only Wednesday. We've still got 2 more days worth of sales to calculate before we do the roundup, so hopefully a few more things sell between now and Friday. Otherwise I'll check in probably Thursday or Friday, and then we'll do the roundup on the weekend. Just to let you guys know, this week we're doing a 2-parter, so that is the end of part 1. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned, in the next couple of days I'll be uploading part 2. The reason for this is just the video's getting on a bit. We're only halfway through the week. There's more pickups and more sales to come still in the next part, and it was getting on to almost an hour-long episode, which I appreciate. A lot of people don't want to sit there for an hour and watch me ramble on, so I'll split it into 2 parts. So if you want to tune in next week or in a couple of days when it goes live, then please do, and consider subscribing if you haven't. Leave a like, and thank you very much for watching. See you on the next one.